Hey everyone! Welcome back to the garden. Before we get started, please leave a like, comment down below and share if you like. Let's get started. There's something truly special about getting your hands in the soil, about nurturing a tiny seed and watching it grow into something that can feed your family. Today, I want to take you on a little journey, a story really, through the world of heirloom vegetables. These aren't your everyday finds at the grocery store. These are vegetables with a history, with unique flavors and colors that tell a story of generations past. They connect us to the gardeners who came before us, who saved these seeds because they knew they were something worth holding on to. Now I know when you think of heirlooms, your mind might jump straight to tomatoes. And while I love a good homegrown tomato as much as anyone, we're going to set them aside for today. We recently made an excellent video detailing several amazing heirloom tomatoes to grow. Please check it out if you're interested in our pick of some of our favorite heirloom tomatoes. What we'd like to do instead is bring awareness to the many heirloom vegetables. By focusing on some of the unsung heroes of the garden, we can really appreciate the diversity and beauty that exists beyond the usual suspects. It's about broadening our horizons and our palates. So come along with me. Let's walk through the rows and meet some of my absolute favorite vegetable heirlooms. I hope that by the end of our time together, you'll feel inspired to make a little room in your own garden patch, or maybe just be a little more adventurous on your next trip to the farmer's market. There's a whole rainbow of flavors and textures to explore, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's dig in. First up, let's talk about something that feels like pure magic in the garden: rainbow carrots. When you pull one of these from the earth, it's a genuine surprise every single time. You're not just getting the familiar orange, you're uncovering these stunning shades of deep purple, sunny yellow, creamy white, and vibrant red. Each color tells a slightly different story, not just in its look, but in its flavor. The purple ones have this wonderfully deep, almost spicy sweetness, while the yellows are a bit milder and so crisp. It's like nature painted a masterpiece right there in the soil. For me, growing these is about more than just a harvest. It's about bringing that sense of wonder to the kitchen. Imagine a simple roasted vegetable dish, but instead of just one color, you have this entire spectrum. The kids absolutely love it. It makes eating your vegetables an adventure. They're not just carrots anymore. They're treasures you've unearthed. And that sweetness, especially when they're freshly picked, is something you just can't find on a store shelf. It's a true taste of the garden, in every color imaginable. Now let's move on to a vegetable that holds a beautiful secret inside, the Chioggia beet. From the outside, it might look like a fairly standard beet with its lovely reddish-pink skin and green tops. But the real show begins when you slice it open. Inside, you'll find these incredible concentric rings of bright pink and white, like a bullseye or a piece of candy. It's just breathtaking. It's one of those vegetables that makes you pause and just appreciate the artistry of nature. It's almost too pretty to eat, but you absolutely should eat them, because their flavor is just as wonderful as their appearance. Unlike some other beets that can have a very strong, overpowering earthiness, Chioggia beets are much milder and sweeter. They have a delicate, clean taste that's amazing when you slice them thinly and serve them raw in a salad with a little goat cheese and vinaigrette. That way, you get to showcase those beautiful stripes. Roasting them is wonderful too, as it brings out their natural sugars, making them tender and even sweeter. They're a perfect, gentle introduction to beets for anyone who thinks they don't like them. Alright, I have to show you these. Just the name alone is enough to make you want to grow them: dragon tongue beans. And they live up to their fantastical name. These are a type of bush bean, and they grow on these beautiful compact plants. The pods themselves are this creamy, yellowish green, but they're streaked and splashed with these brilliant, deep purple stripes. They look like they've been painted by hand. When you're harvesting them, they really stand out amongst all the green foliage in the garden. They're a true showstopper. What I love most, beyond their striking appearance, is their texture and versatility. You can eat them fresh right off the plant, and they have this incredible snap, so crisp and juicy. They're a perfect addition to a raw vegetable platter. Now here's a little bit of garden magic for you. When you cook them, those beautiful purple stripes disappear, and the whole bean turns a uniform bright green. It's a fun little trick to show the kids. They have a wonderfully rich, beany flavor that holds up well whether you steam them, sauté them with a little garlic, or pickle them for later. Here's something that always brings a smile to my face when I see it ripening in the garden: the lemon cucumber. People are always so curious about this one. They see this little round, sunshine yellow sphere nestled among the cucumber vines and they ask, "Is that a lemon?" And I get to tell them it's actually a cucumber. It's about the size and color of a lemon, which is how it gets its name. It's an old heirloom variety that's just so charming and a little bit quirky, which you know I love. The best part is that its flavor is as delightful as its appearance. It has a very thin, tender skin, so you don't even need to peel it. The taste is wonderfully mild, sweet, and refreshing, with absolutely no bitterness, which can sometimes be an issue with other cucumber varieties. It's incredibly crisp and juicy inside. I love to just slice them up and eat them with a sprinkle of salt, or chop them into salads. Because of their round shape, they also make the most perfect little cucumber cups if you scoop out the seeds. You can fill them with dip or chicken salad for a beautiful appetizer. If you think all along red peppers are hot, let me introduce you to my favorite sweet pepper of all time, the Jimmy Nardello. This pepper has such a great story. It was brought to America from a small village in southern Italy by the Nardello family in the late 1800s. They grew it in their garden in Connecticut year after year, and thankfully for all of us, they saved the seeds. It's a true taste of history. The pepper itself is long, thin, and twisted, ripening to the most brilliant fire engine red. The flavor is where this pepper truly shines. It is unbelievably sweet, rich, and almost fruity, with a complexity you just don't find in a standard bell pepper. There is absolutely no heat, just pure sweet pepper flavor. My favorite way to eat them is the way they were traditionally prepared, fried in a little olive oil until the skin blisters and the pepper becomes soft and even sweeter. You just sprinkle them with a little salt and eat them as is. They are also incredible, roasted, grilled, or even thinly sliced into salads. They're so versatile and their flavor is so memorable. Sometimes the best heirlooms aren't the flashiest, but the ones that are steady, reliable, and have nourished families for generations. That's how I feel about the purple top turnip. This is a true classic, the turnip you probably picture in your mind's eye. It has that beautiful white globe shape at the bottom that grows just at the soil line, and the top part that's exposed to the sun blushes this gorgeous shade of violet purple. It's a simple, honest vegetable that's been a staple in gardens for well over a century. Now, turnips can sometimes get a bad rap for being bitter or sharp, but when you harvest these at the right time, when they're about 2 to 3 inches in diameter, they are wonderfully mild and sweet. They have a crisp, tender texture that's fantastic when roasted. The heat brings out a buttery sweetness that's just incredible. I love to cube them and roast them with carrots and potatoes, or mash them with a little butter and cream. And don't forget the greens. The turnip tops are delicious and packed with nutrients when sautéed with a bit of garlic. It's a vegetable that gives you 2 harvests in one. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the Black Beauty eggplant. This is an heirloom that brings such a dramatic, deep color to the garden. When you see these large, glossy, almost black fruits hanging heavily from the sturdy plants, it's truly a sight to behold. The skin is so dark and shiny it reflects the sunlight. This variety has been a favorite since the early 1900s for a reason. It's dependable, productive, and produces these classic bell-shaped eggplants that are perfect for so many dishes. What I appreciate about the Black Beauty is its texture and flavor when cooked. It becomes incredibly creamy and tender, with a mild, savory taste that soaks up all the flavors you pair it with. It's the perfect canvas for herbs, spices, and sauces. One of my favorite things to do is slice it into thick planks, brush it with olive oil and herbs, and grill it until it's soft and smoky. It's also the star in a classic eggplant parmesan, where its creamy texture is just divine. It's a substantial, satisfying vegetable that really anchors a meal. And there you have it, a little tour through some of the garden's most beautiful and flavorful stories. From the surprise inside a Chioggia beet to the sweet history of the Jimmy Nardello pepper, each one of these vegetables brings something so unique to the table. It's a reminder that our gardens and our kitchens can be places of discovery and connection. I truly hope you feel inspired to step outside the box a little bit, whether that means planting a new seed you've never tried before, or picking up an interesting-looking vegetable at the market. The real joy comes from sharing this bounty with the people you love. There's nothing better than sitting down to a meal that you had a hand in growing, A meal that's not only delicious but also beautiful and full of history. I would love to hear from you all. What are some of your favorite heirloom vegetables? Is there one from today that you're excited to try? Let me know down in the comments. I always love reading about your own garden adventures and discoveries. It's how we all learn and grow together. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, for walking through the garden and sharing in this passion. It really does mean the world. If you enjoyed our little chat and want to see more stories from the garden and the kitchen, please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, happy gardening.